Just 3 races remain before the run to the playoffs for the drivers in Season 2 of the SNB Cup Series presented by Appalachian Holler Hunters. And we are in the Irish Hills of virtual Michigan. We're at the Michigan International Speedway for round number 10 here tonight on LSR TV. It's the Vortex Optics 200 from the virtual Michigan Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan on LSR TV, your home for sim racing. Good evening, I'm Wesley Outland. I'll be joined very shortly by Greg Rentz, who is on other endeavors right now. He'll be joining me very shortly again. And as always, Charles Wooten is in the production chair handling the operations of the broadcast. This will be an exciting event, 200 miles, 100 laps. Let's take a look at the race 411 as we get ready for this event here, presented by RaceOnTexas.com. They're just about to wrap up their 30-minute practice session, and then it'll be 2-lap qualifying. Qualifying will set the field for their 200-mile, 100-lap event on this 2-mile precision-banked tri-oval here in the virtual Irish Hills of Michigan. Weather conditions presented by SawBlade.com are 74 degrees virtually with a wind speed blowing at 2 miles per hour. Track temperature is really warmer than the ambient temperature virtually at 108 degrees Fahrenheit under partly cloudy skies, but right now sun shining high above the 2-mile oval. The drivers of the SNB Cup Series have seen Spencer Hardison and Braxton DeWeese be the only repeat winners on the series. Other drivers have locked up wins as well to make 9 different winners in 10 events. We're ready to see who will be able to prevail and make it to victory lane tonight. Or will we see another winner of the regular season repeat as a first-time winner? While we do that and get ready for this event, let's take a look at the point standings going into this show here this evening for the drivers of the SNB Cup Series. The point standings, again, very close as we continue to see almost a tie for second, 5 points separating them from the leader. And then, of course, all eyes is watching the drivers in the back in positions 16 through that are out of the shot. Right now, Caleb Smith is the points leader. 5 points back each is Braxton DeWeese and Joshua Altus, the Daytona winner. 8 points back is Ross Tatum in 4th. Jack Ely, 11 points back in 5th. And then you have all these other drivers that are bubble drivers, including Jack Ely in 8th, Evan Coleman, Jacob Grant. Below the cut line includes drivers like Robert Sherwood, Kenan Massey, Brockton Packard, and even man that's trying to finally break this slump of runner-up finishes, Matt Dyer in 14th, along with Christian Gardner in the top 15. And then you see drivers that are on the outside looking in that must win to advance into the playoffs, like Cody Fournette, Robbie Helms, Cody Terry, Jonathan Woods, and Zachary Peterson. Right now, the top 20 of the point standings. Qualifying is on course right now. As we mentioned, Zachary Peterson, he's ready to go for MP Motorsports in the number 96 machine. We'll see what he can do on course. Zachary Peterson up our first car to qualify in the 96 machine. We'll watch and see what types of times he puts on the board for the drivers ready to go here in this event tonight. Zachary Peterson for MP Motorsports, along with Joshua Alston, Matthew Gilliams, the Darlington winner, Robert Sherwood, Cody Terry. Some of these drivers that are getting ready to go here, taking time on clock for this session. Zach Peterson, got a field of them ready to go here at Michigan. What types of laps they turn. Here comes Zachary Peterson off turn number 4. Again, I'll be joined by Greg Rentz very shortly, as here comes Zach Peterson across the start-finish line. 38.704. He will set the bar in qualifying. Jack Ely just wrapped up a qualifying lap, second best in the 54. There you see him right there. Jack Ely in the number 54 machine on course now. As we have qualifying on track. Jack Ely, part of Banter Sports. Zach Peterson back on, showing him again. It looks like Matthew Gilliams has now moved to the number 1 position. 38.694, but Peterson will take it back with a 38.676. So Peterson will go back to P1. Now Jack Ely for Banff Motorsports will go back to the number 1 spot as he spins through the infield grass, but not before he put down a quick lap of 38.626. Burnett now second. It's Cody Burnett of the 14. And now Ross the Boss Tatum will go to the top of the board as we see the points leader, Caleb Smith in the number 12 machine. 39.011 for Smith. That's good enough to crack the top 10 on lap number 1 here on the high banks at Michigan International Speedway. Down the back straightaway. We'll see what lap he put up now, as currently there is less than 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. Tatum now to the top of the board, along with Sherwood second best, Ely third, Burnett, Stooksbury the 5, along with Cody Gardner, Zachary Peterson, Matthew Gilliams, Joshua Altus now climbing into the top 10, or outside the top 10 in 11th, and it looks like Caleb Smith will climb a little bit quicker and climb in the top 10 in 6th. 38.632 seconds. And now Pillsbury, Jacob Grant. New number, new car design. Used to be in the black number 5, now he's in the white number 52. Jacob Grant, we'll see what he can do on clock now. Qualifying underway for the Vortex Optics 200 here at the Michigan International Speedway. And just 3 races remain until the playoffs. This is round number 10 of the season. Back straightaway, Jacob Grant on the clock. He's into turn number 3. Watch him take the car to the high side of the sway up against the concrete. Barely, narrowly missing the wall on the safer wall barrier, virtually out of turn number 4. And here he comes down to the start-finish line. And Grant will put a time up on the board. 39.489 seconds, good enough to be in the top 15. Definitely got to pick it up on his second lap. Ross Tatum right now, the man. Sherwood second. DeWeese, Wingo, Altus the top 5. Qualifying is about to come to an end here at Michigan. There goes Brockton Packard. DeWeese, by the way, third best. Here comes Brockton Packard. See if he can get his final lap in 38.638. 38.638 enough for 8th for the driver of the number 24. Qualifying has concluded. We'll take a quick break. We'll get ready to grid and go racing here at Michigan on LSR TV.
Welcome, everyone, to the Bone Collector North American Whitetail Championship. No doubt the most exciting championship tournament that's ever hit the whitetail hunting industry. It's going to be broke down into 14 different regions. It's broke down to be fair, but it's broke down to celebrate the everyday hunters. This is one of the most unique championships that's ever been thrown. Let's get to competing. Let's get to having some fun.
Welcome back to the Vortex Ops 200 here at the virtual Michigan International Speedway. Wesley Outland here with you. Greg Rance will be joining me momentarily as we get ready for round number 10 of the SNB Cup Series presented by Appalachian Holler Hunters. And it's time for the ComServe Wireless starting lineup. Here is your starting grid. The Monster Energy number 1 of Ross the Boss Tatum will be on the pole. To the outside, Rob Sherwood in car number 29. Row number 2 will find Braxton DeWeese in the 15, looking for his 3rd win on the series. 4th, if you count the 9 points All-Star race. To his outside, Tucker Wingo, the New Hampshire winner in the 99, will start in 6th. Moving on to row number 3, it's going to be Joshua Altus, the Daytona winner, starting 5th, and 6th, Jack Ely in 54. Row number 4 in this race will find Caleb Smith, the points leader in the number 12, to his outside Brockton Packard in 24. Row number 5 to round out the top 10, Cody Fournette in 14, and Keenan Massey in the number 4. Row 6 of the race will find Tyler Stooksbury in the Spotify 19, to his outside Christian Hanger in the number 7. Row number 7 in this race will find Zach Peterson in the 96, along with Darlington winner Matthew Gilliams at 28. Row number 8 will find Robbie Helms in the 18 machine, to his outside Evan Coleman in car number 51. Row number 9 to round out the top 18 starters, Matt Dyer from California in the 88, to his outside Pillsbury Jacob Grant in 52. Row number 10 for your top 20, find Spencer Hardison, winner last week. He's in the number 9, to his outside Cody Terry in 22. Row number 11 in this race, and that will round out the starting lineup here tonight at Michigan. Starting lineup presented by ComServe Wireless. Remember, they have 24 locations in 3 states, including Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. For all of your Verizon Wireless and Verizon Fios needs, let ComServe Wireless serve you. Pace truck is in. We're ready. 200 miles, 100 laps here at the virtual Michigan International Speedway. A kaleidoscope of colors move to the Geico restart zone. Green air. We're kicking the asphalt in round in of the SNB Cup Series at Michigan. Here they come out of 4, out of the start-finish line. We have a virtual race, so laps, working now lap number 3, and out in front it is still Ross Tatum. Now Sherwood up in the number 1. Tatum started this race from the pole. He's now fell back into the clutches of the top 3 as Wingo, Sherwood battle for 1 and 2. Here comes DeWeese, Altus in that battle. 15 and 94, Jack Ely peaking there in the 54 car as they work their way off of turn number line. Flagman Barney looking intently. They'll stick them 2 and 3 and 4 wide if the opportunity presents itself from the top of the safer wall barrier down to the bottom of the apron, up the banks in the 1 and 2 again. What a race we saw for the Northwest Cup Series here at Michigan. Back before the closing of the year, probably one of the highlight races on the Northwest Cup Series. As, by the way, the Championship 4 will battle it out at Phoenix next Monday night. Coverage begins at 10:30 Eastern Time on LSR TV as we preview also the season, the drivers, and the race at Phoenix. Tomorrow night, the Northwest Truck Series was back in action with the West Bay Napa Auto Parts playoffs, and that will be the makeup race from New Hampshire. That was postponed due to technical issues back in December before the Christmas holiday break. That begins at 11:45 Eastern tomorrow night on LSR TV. LiveSimRacingTV.com for more information. We can go out in front. Sherwood on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Tatum on the outside lane, and they'll flip-flop those positions. as they work their way back for turn 4 down to the start-finish line. 20 kaleidoscope colors virtually working around Michigan. As Wingo set the bar now up 3 spots, started this race in 4th. He's in P1. Tatum on the pole, falls back 1 spot to 2nd. Starting 2nd in the race, now falling back to 5th. 4th is now Rob Sherwood. Altus up now to 3rd in the 94 car. And all that going on right now behind the leader as you're riding on board with the leader, Tucker Wingo, in the rear deck lid of his car. They're coming after him. Shake and bake. Here comes Tatum. Looking inside, looking outside, nothing there. Sherwood on the inside, came so close to winning last week. Now while that goes on, they roar back into the banks into 1 and 2. 7 of 100 laps completed. Tucker Wingo, Tatum, listen to this one. I love those cameras. As they dive into 3, Wingo opens the door now for Joshua Altus, and they make some contact inside out of 3 and 4. Altus, a little wiggle there. He'll hold on to the 2nd spot, or will he fall to 3rd in the clutches of Tatum? Like a drafted Daytona or Talladega, Altus hung to dry on the bottom. He's got nowhere to go. He's trying to sling it back up to the outside lane and find a gap to fit the car in. While that goes on, Wingo, Tatum, Sherwood go to 3rd. Altus finds that move to slither and take that spot back to 4th in front of Braxton DeWeese in the top 5. Gardner, Massey, all single file, nose to tail as they come to 3 and 4. Wingo coming to the stripe as the leader. Back into turn number 1 now as they work through the front stretch into the corner. It's Wingo, still the man out in front, that 99 machine. Leading the way, Sherwood to 2nd, Tatum 3rd. Altus and DeWeese having a nice little battle of cat and mouse going on. We ride on board now with Ross Tatum in the 1 car. Altus will cut up in front of him. Take that spot away for 3rd, the Daytona winner. Wingo, Sherwood, here comes DeWeese now, trying to clear by Tatum. A lot of racing here left to go. We are 10 laps in, 90 remaining. Round number 10, 3 races, counting this one remaining in the regular season. Season number 2 of the SNB Cup Series, presented by Appalachian Holler Hunter. Tonight it's the Vortex Optics 200. Tatum on the inside. Gardner is there. Single file. Back through the restart zone, powering through the start finish. No change in any of those positions as we stay back to turn 1, single file. Copy. Wingo and Sherwood, Altus, DeWeese, Tatum in the top 5. Here comes Gardner, trying to close in and sneak into the top 5 to get around Tatum. That's that Monster Energy number 1 machine as they work their way back out of turn 4. Back down to start finish. At speed. Past start finish line to turn 1. Tucker Wingo continuing to hold his line. Here he comes down the back straightaway now. Awesome camera work on our producer Charles Wooten for this LSR TV production. And they're intense right now. Coming back now at speed out of turn number 3 and 4 below start finish. Lap 12 completed. Wingo, Sherwood, Altus, DeWeese, Tatum, your top 5. Gardner, Massey, Grant, Packard, and Ely in the top 10. And we stay single file with still Tucker Wingo now about to play blocker on 29, Robert Sherwood. Yellow 29 Sherwood trying to close in. Not anything there just yet. Can't open that door on the inside. DeWeese now trying to make a move on Altus for third. He'll clear him as they come to the start-finish line. Inside 15. Side by side for third spot into 1 and 2. Luis on the inside, Altus on the outside. Altus gets a little run there in the Remington 94. He'll clear Luis. He'll fall back to fourth. Remember, all the drivers in green on the Color Rainbow scoring ticker have advanced to the playoffs. They are all winners in the regular season. They will go to the postseason to fight for the Season 2 championship in the SNB Cup Series. Drivers that are in blue are in the top 10 of the points. That includes Grant, Ely, and Coleman. Drivers in red are in the top 15. That includes Sherwood, Massey, Packard, Fournette, and Dyer with no wins. Drivers in black are in positions 16 to 20, ironically. And honestly, they're on the outside cusp of being eliminated. But with a win, they can advance to the playoffs. Bottom line, in the regular season, it is win and you are in. So all these drivers in green have advanced. If you're in blue, red, and black, move on back. With a win, you will go green and fight for a championship. Wingo, Sherwood, and Altus, they're 1, 2, and 3. Single file. Coming down to the start-finish line with Tucker Wingo, the New Hampshire winner. Still out in front. He's got a strong run of the 99 car. Sherwood to second spot. Altus third. Deweese, no change in those positions. Tatum is there in fifth. Well, that goes on. We mentioned 4 out of the 5 drivers in the top 5 have won events this year so far in Season 2 for the SNB Cup Series. Sherwood, the only driver in red that we mentioned. Doing good. Strong run right now with the 29 in P2. You're riding on board with him. They cross start finish, and he begins to run down the Ford of Tucker Wingo as they go back to turn number 1. Everyone's still on the lead lap from Wingo to Dyer. 17 seconds. The interval from the leader to the last place position. To the back straightaway, it's Wingo. Single file leads that train of Sherwood, Altus, Deweese, and more down into turn number 3. Out of turn 4, back down to the start-finish line. Single file. That's the way they stay. Altus thought for a second he'd jump out of line. He went to the inside, now down to the outside lane. Couldn't find anything there. As Tucker Wingo brings him to the back straightaway. 20 laps in this time by 80 remaining. And still a long way to go here at Michigan. This 200-mile, 100-lap contest continues after a quick timeout on your home for sim racing, LSR TV, and I'll be joined by my colleague Greg Rentz when we return from Michigan. Green flag pit stops are underway in this opening 20 laps, and I'm also joined in the booth by Spokane, Washington's Greg Rance. Greg, good evening. Pit stops right as you join the broadcast.
Yeah, came in right as they look to be making their first round of green flag pit stops. See, Tucker Wingo's out front, but he's going to sacrifice that now. But he's going to be all by himself. Here comes his teammate Jack Ely down pit road behind him. So they're going to come down pit road together. I believe Cody Fournette also makes the left turn on. So the three teammates work together. That moves Sherwood back into the lead here. Looks like he started on the outside pole as Altus sits in second, the Daytona winner.
Pit stops are underway, 22 in of 100 laps in the Vortex Optics 200. SNB Cup Series, round number 10. Watching more pit stops ongoing. Drivers making pit stops. And Greg, you think this is too early or you think we're right on schedule, bud?
Given the fact that we've got 5 sets of tires on pit road, they're looked to be splitting it up for a pit stop every 20 laps or so. So I think this works out perfect. It's hit every 20 laps or so and then have one more set left in case of green, white, checkered overtime at the end. I think this falls in perfectly.
Understanding the fuel window was between 20 to 21 laps with a 50% window, so basically cut the fuel cell in half. They get 5 sets of tires. That's 4 on pit road, including the set that they got at the drop of the green flag on. Well, yeah, cut the fuel. The fuel in half is what I meant, not the fuel cell. Obviously, you cut the fuel cell, you're going to have a fuel all over the racetrack, virtually, or reality. But what I mean is you can only fill up half of the tank is what I was meaning to say. Yes.
Yeah, you're only running 50% fuel capacity. Very similar to a race we had on LSR TV earlier in the week. On Sunday at Talladega, they had 50% fuel capacity in the Straight Cash Money Series. By the way, that series will be back here on LSR TV at this racetrack, Michigan. They're going to be running the trucks at Michigan here this Sunday morning, so make sure you set a reminder for that one live here on LSR TV. It's going to be wild for sure.
Make sure you do set your alarm clock so you'll be ready to go for that broadcast. Hey, by the way, don't forget, coming up also not this Saturday but next Saturday, 6 hours of iRacing Super Speedway with the Endurance Sim Racing League. Greg, Charles Wooten and myself, not Greg. Greg's not going to get out of bed at 6 a.m. But that's Charles Wooten and I will. We'll be ready to go. 8:45 Eastern Time. 6 hours at a track that is pretty damn unique, Greg, I have to say so. That was a pretty wild race we did a couple of weeks ago with that runoff series race we did.
Yeah, looking forward to that. The open wheel series that we were able to broadcast on LSR TV that night. That was a lot of fun. Looking forward to going there with the Cup cars there, not just for that 6 hours of iRacing. That's going to also be a stop for the Straight Cash Money series as well. So a couple Cup car broadcasts coming up from the iRacing Super Speedway here in the future on LSR TV in the next couple of weeks. But right now we're at Michigan, and Braxton DeWeese leading the way over Jacob Grant in the number 52. New number for Pillsbury in the 52. We're used to seeing him in the number 5, but he's running 52 tonight, it looks like.
And, you know, we think about Michigan. We think about Michigan a couple of weeks ago before the Christmas break. We remember how crazy that race was at for the Northwest Cup Series. Holy cow, what a show that was. I know you weren't able to be there. You had some Christmas obligations with family and friends, but that was a pretty wild race for the series of the Cup Tour, the Northwest Cup Series. And I got a feeling we could be setting ourselves up for something similar tonight as we've put 1/4 of the distance through here, over a quarter, with Braxton DeWeese in the 15 out in front. Jacob Grant. Wingo peeks to the inside, looking for that spot on Grant for second in turn 3.
Seems to be pretty solid right now, shaping up to be like that race as the pack is beginning to chip away at Braxton Deweese's lead little by little, down to 0.6 of a second now as the drag race continues between Grant and Wingo in the 99. They run Altus trying to figure out who to go with here. Does he go with High Five Racing's Jacob Grant, or does he go with BAMF Motorsports' number 99 Tucker Wingo? Looks like he's going to hook up with Pillsbury for the time being. And how about Rob Sherwood back there lurking as well? He came so close to that win last week, ran out of fuel in the closing stages.
Who's your friend? Who's your partner? Who do you go with? For the time being, it looks like it is Deweese in his own world. But then you've got Grant with the clutches of Altus behind him. And out of nowhere comes Tucker Wingo. He's going to go for a 2-for-1 special from 4th to 2nd in the 99.
Nice run off of turn number 2. Here comes Altus 3 wide. By the way, they have caught up to Braxton Deweese. That's Deweese right in front of them right now. Here battling it out as they're 3 wide for 2nd. Rob Sherwood lurking back there. You can never count out that Monster Energy car behind them. Ross Tatum as Altus and Sherwood get a little bit together there off of turn number 4, but they keep it down pat. Meanwhile, Christian Gardner also closing in on this battle as he is drafted up behind Ross Tatum. Gardner again still in that playoff hunt. The black bar means they're in position, or they're out of the playoffs looking in, but not eliminated yet like those red bars are. The 3 remaining playoff spots are up for grabs right now. Grant, Ely, and Coleman hold them, but the drivers with the black bars still in position to capitalize.
And in the last 2 weeks, we have had Braxton Deweese and Spencer Hardison become repeat winners on the series.
Hardison having problems here in this one, it would appear. Not sure what happened as I got to the booth right around lap 15, and we had to wait until the commercial to get me all situated, but he's currently being scored 1 lap down, so I don't know what happened to Hardison there on the start. Last week's winner, of course, in the series, so 2 wins on the year for the number 9 for CEM Motorsports, but not sure what happened there.
Braxton Deweese is out in front. We got a caution on the speedway now. Trouble. Following, it's Ross Tatum in the 1. Flag replay. Let's take a look at what happened, Greg, while we're in a yellow flag. Uno here at Michigan.
Had Christian Gardner behind him in the 7. Going through turn 3 and 4. We saw him facing the wrong way on the front stretch here. Gardner with a big run there. Oh, just a little bit of contact there. Just kind of misjudged the run there, and Tatum's going to go up into the wall and bring out the first caution of the day. The good news for him is he has a fast repair, because this series, or this racetrack, I should say, very, very important to have aero going your way. So Tatum, no doubt, is going to want to use the fast repair on this one.
Yellow flag out. We will probably have pit stops. We'll cover them real quickly when we return after a quick break from Michigan. Deweese leads 32 in of 100. Actually, hang on. We're going to stay on the air. They're coming to pit road now. They're coming to pit road. We'll cover the pit stops, and then we'll take commercial break. Greg, I'm thinking 4 tires and fill up the tank, half for everybody.
Thinking definitely 4 tires or definitely full tank of fuel, but this is going to throw some guys off that strategy I mentioned earlier. If they do the 4 tires, I think you'll see some of them do it, but I think you might see a couple guys roll the dice here and maybe try 2 tires in an effort to hold on and wait and see what happens here moving forward, as they only have 4 sets of tires remaining after they all made the pit stop. As they get rolling here down the front stretch, we'll watch the race off pit road. A couple of guys did take 2 tires. That looked like the 24 of Brockton Packard taking 2 tires to win the race off road. So Packard gonna go from 7th to 1st with that one on the strategy call.
And with that being said, commercial break time. We'll come back with more coverage from Michigan after pit stops here with the SNB Cup Series.
Welcome, everyone, to the Bone Collector North American.
Back to round number 10 of the SNB Cup Series. It's the Vortex Optics 200. We are approaching halfway in this 200-mile contest. Almost about to complete 100 miles. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outlet here with you. 34 of 100 laps in. Brockton Packard, Greg, finally trying to turn around what's been a pretty crazy, dismal season for him and try to get a win here tonight.
Yeah, looking for a win for Shadow Racing here tonight in the number 24 driver we've seen a couple of times in a couple different series here on LSR TV. Taking a little bit of a dice roll here to go for this one. Packard working together with Ross Tatum tonight in the number 1, who is running it out, and he's got Matt Moreau, it looks like, making the calls for him in the number 24. So working together here with Ross Tatum. Shadow Racing leading the way right now with Brockton Packard trying to pick up win number 1 on the season. Going to be leading them to the green flag. Tucker Wingo alongside Peace, Sherwood, and Altus, your top 5.
Pace truck will get ready to drop back onto the pit lane this time by. Will make their way back into the Geico restart zone. Get ready to go back for the restart with now Brockton Packard ready to bring the cavalry down to the line virtually. Speed back up, green back in the air. Packard, DeWeese, Wingo, Sherwood, Grant, Altus, top 5. They roar side by side in speed into turn 1.
DeWeese taking the peek to the inside of Packard. DeWeese 2 wins on the season, and this is where the problem comes in, where only one driver rolls the dice. Yes, he's got 2 fresh right side tires, but the rest of this field on 4 are going to eat Packard up here very quickly. But Packard going to have a chance to recover here later on the next round of pit stops. He's running tight in, loose off as a paint scheme there for Tyler Stooksbury, and Sherwood slides up into Packard, and we got problems on the front stretch. Packard goes around.
Packard.
Sherwood going.
Packard, Gilliams. They're still wrecking Stooksbury. The big one here at Michigan. Wow. My, Greg.
Up to speed. Watch right here. Packard on the outside, then Sherwood slides up. A little bit of contact there. Sherwood continues to slide up, and unfortunately, by the time they actually get together, Packard's in that spot that he just loops it around. Stooksbury, the other tight end loose off entry, gets collected in it as well. Saw several cars going for a ride there in this one.
Was not expecting that one. Some top contenders take out, and you think, I think so much heartbreak, Greg, for Brockton Packard in the 24. He can't even get out of his own way and catch a break.
Had a nice opportunity there on that restart, and then unfortunately, it just happened again. So a heartbreaker there for Brockton Packard. He's going to come down pit road. More cars coming down pit road with some damage to use that fast repair, because we talked about it on that last caution. Arrow so important here, but Ross Tatum coming down in the number 1. I want to get a look at the back of his car if I can, because I'm wondering if he used the fast repair or not. Looks like he did, so I'm wondering if he's just coming in just to top off on fuel in the Monster Energy number 1 car. Looks like he sat on the pole as well here in this one. He slides into his pit stall. We'll see what the number 1 does. Nope, he's going to take some tires in the number 1 as you see Stooksbury rolling away. There goes Altus, the 94. Tatum, 4-tire stop here for the number 1. Kind of an interesting gutsy call here.
A tough break there as drivers are on the pit lane. Tatum exiting and smelling like red rose. Braxton DeWeese will go to the number 1 spot, the Toyota number 15. Wingo will go to second now as pit stops begin to cycle through in this second caution, and proverbially we can say this, Greg, this was the big one today.
Yeah, so far, so we'll see how it goes from here. Again, clean and green for the first 30-odd laps, and then since then 2 cautions in a matter of a couple of laps here. So Braxton DeWeese, Tucker Wingo, Keenan Massey, Jack Ely, Matt Dyer, your top 5 right now, but long way to go still.
.37 of 100 laps about to be completed. Working lap 30. Lights are off for the pace truck, and we'll get ready to go back green here.
Set to go back to green for our third green flag run of the night. Braxton DeWeese going to be up at the front in the 15. Tucker Wingo second. How about Keenan Massey in the number 4? Solid run thus far.
Getting ready for the side-by-side restart. I don't know about you, Greg, but I'm still trying to recover from that crazy race on Monday night with the race at Texas with the Northwest Cup Series. What a show that was.
Oh, it was definitely a wild one. If you didn't catch that live, make sure you catch it right now in the LSR TV archives. We will not spoil it for you here, but it was a wild one here at on LSR TV. It came to you from Texas, and it was epic. That's all we're going to say. You're going to have to go back and watch it.
As our producers yell, is humming in the background, the Wild Wild West. It certainly was a fun one at Limits, Texas. And by the way, the Truck Series Thursday night will be at New Hampshire, then Texas, then Phoenix. Championship 4 for the Northwest Cup Series of the West Bay Napa Auto Parts playoffs will be decided Monday night at Phoenix. Green in the air, we're back to it again. This is next to 3 races remaining in the regular season before the SNB Cup Series playoffs, Greg. DeWeese with a hole shot and a big jump over the field in 1.
Nice restart there by DeWeese in the 99. Wingo going to get hooked up, though, with his teammate Jack Ely, with a big run down the backstretch. Watch for Wingo to try to make a move. Unfortunately, Keenan Massey was right there, so Wingo couldn't make the move he wanted because he would lose the help of his teammate Ely. They have to back it off and try it again. Meanwhile, Matt Dyer up there in the number 88 making a run as well. He's up in the top 5. As DeWeese leads the way. Wingo second. Drag race between and Massey. Ely had it at the line, but now the teammates trying to hook up and get around Braxton DeWeese on the outside.
A slide and a push up the racetrack, led by DeWeese on the inside. Here comes Wingo to the bottom. Ely is there. Massey is there now in the 4. What a run for him. Matt Dyer in 88. Here he comes as well.
Dyer with a move on the outside. Cody Terry lurking in the picture as well in that black and orange 62. Connection issues for the 4 of Keenan Massey as Wingo led the lap in the number 99 as he's hooked up again with his teammate Jack Ely, who side drafts there with Braxton DeWeese. They share side draft there through 1 and 2. They touch again off of turn number 2.
Wow.
And I think DeWeese is going to get the worst of it there as he has to back it off. Nice job there by everybody to get through that, but DeWeese is going to be the big loser as he's going to fall out of the top 5 and have to settle it down.
In like a draft at Daytona or Talladega. They're 5 wide. Holy cow. Almost 4 and 5 wide. Look who's moved up to 6th. Spencer Hardison looking for 3 wins. 2 in a row in the 9 car. He struggled earlier, Greg. He struggled earlier. Now he's up there.
Caught the lucky dog early in that one on the first caution, and with everything that's happened has been able to make his way up towards the top 5 right now, as things still slicing and dicing but settling down right now. I'm curious about the 15 of Deweese. Does he have damage on the right side of that 15 car after the contact between him and Ely? Looks to be okay as he goes by there on the outside of Hardison, now hooking up with Matt Dyer. That's an interesting combination there, Dyer and Deweese. Remember what happened at Charlotte 2 races ago. Caleb Smith coming up into the picture now. Who does he go with as he tries to get up there with his teammate Matt Dyer? Deweese going to answer that question as he tries to get around Dyer, and Smith going to hook up now with Dyer. So now the CEM teammates hooked up as Deweese tries to follow Altus now.
Back straight away into turn number 3. Wingo, now the leader of the 99.
Oh, Matthew
He's
Dyer.
got a Hornets that's behind him. Contact into the wall. Dyer collects Ely, collects some other cars, including the points leader. Caleb Smith involved. Hardison involved. Winner last week. They crash out of turn 4.
As he slid up the track, looks like the caught some dirty air on the nose of the 4, and it pushed him up into Smith and Dyer, and it was a chain reaction from there. We'll take a look at the swag replay. Watch that purple, black, and white car right there, number 4. Altus gets a run to the outside. There you see him slide up. Dyer gets in the wall. Nowhere for Smith to go. He battles into Cody Terry and then comes down on Hardison. Nowhere for them to go, and just like that, we have a big one here at Michigan once again, just before halfway.
Caution and a number of contenders, top contenders involved in this one. Approaching halfway. Approaching halfway. Bingo. The 99 out in front. Quick break from Michigan. We'll be back with more in a moment on LSR TV, the SNB Cup Series.
I promise to follow through.
I promise to repair or replace your product.
I promise to get your optics back to you as soon as possible.
A promise is the foundation of our business. We call it the VIP warranty, the very important promise. It's unlimited, unconditional, and lifetime. No matter what the problem is, no matter how the problem occurred, no matter how old the product is, if it says Vortex Optics on it, we will repair or replace your product at no cost to you. Maybe it was an accident, maybe it was your fault, or even your dog's. No matter what happens, we've got you covered.
It's simple. There's no product registration, no receipts to hang on to. Just grab a box, fill out a form, ship us your product. No hassle, no questions asked.
We stand behind the quality and performance of our products, and our commitment to you extends far beyond the initial purchase. I promise.
So 2 multi-car crashes in a row has slowed the field here back at Michigan International Speedway, virtual Irish Hills of Michigan in iRacing LSR TV. We are approaching halfway in the Vortex Optics 200 and only find it fitting to laugh because Greg has got some optical problems tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Greg. I just thought that was funny when I thought of it.
Yeah, maybe I can visit Vortex and they can figure something out here, because yeah.
For all of your free repairs, including your eyeballs, let Vortex Optics take care of you. Lights are off on the pace car, and just cutting up here a little humor with Greg. He had an injury at work today, so, and it did involve his optics. So anyhow, we're getting ready for the restart, and we're 5 to halfway, 55 to go. Jack Ely is now the new leader, along with Tucker Wingo. They're going to be side by side when we come back to the Geico restart zone. Braxton DeWeese, who got slung like a rag doll in the most recent transition down the back straightaway before that crazy accident happened, has rallied back to third. Joshua Altus is now the fourth. Tyler Stooksbury fifth. Grant Peterson, Coleman, Fournette, Gardner in the top 10. As we approach halfway, Greg, who are some drivers do you think we're definitely going to need to keep an eye on as we come to the cross flags and the restart?
Well, based off what we've seen so far, of course, you always got to keep your eye on the likes of DeWeese, Grant, and Hardison, and those drivers who have been up there up front. The BAP Motorsports drivers, Tucker Wingo, Jack Ely, have shown a lot of speed. Altus always fast, but I'm keeping my eyes specifically on Jacob Grant right now in the 52. He's looked very strong thus far as they restart fifth and this green flag comes out. I'm watching Grant in the 52 to see what he can pull off here tonight.
Back inside the Geico restart zone, green flag going back in the air. Lap number 46 of 100 in this 200-mile contest tonight at Michigan. Down the straightaway they go off to at full speed. Wingo, Ely, DeWeese, and here we go again. They saddle them up into turn 3, Greg.
How about Zach Peterson up there in the 5th spot in the 96, battling it out with Jacob Grant, who we just talked about. Peterson had a restart in 7th. He's already trying to get +2 positions. He's gotten around Stooksbury, now in a drag race with Grant, and he's going to beat him to the line into number 96, so move him into the top 5 as Joshua Altus tries to make the inside lane work, but those top 3 are hooked up pretty solid on the outside there.
And some of those cars that we mentioned are back in the fight again, like Hardison, like Ely, like Grant, because they got that fast repair. It works one time, that's your mulligan, Greg. You get tore up again, you're probably going to go on the virtual trailer.
It's definitely going to be a long night for those drivers who have had to take the fast repair. First one of those being Ross Tatum, who had to take it on the caution before those incidents. Then you got the likes of Packard and Grant, drivers who have been involved in incidents. You have the CEM crew, Caleb Smith, and Spencer Hardison, Matt Dyer. They all took fast repairs.
Altus for the lead.
Altus had fast repair as well as he goes for the lead in the number 94, but again, stalls out there on the bottom as he can't get the drafting help that those teammates have right now of Wingo and Ely. Braxton DeWeese lurking back there in the 15.
Here they come out of 4, back to the stripe. 1 lap. This lap is halfway, next time by. As Altus now goes down below the apron of the racetrack. This allows that battle on the outside lane to work between Wingo and Ely. Now watch out, in the clutches is coming Braxton DeWeese in the 15 while they battle side by side to the back straightaway.
DeWeese trying to close in as Altus again stalls out there on the straightaway where the draft is crucial and falls in 3rd. Now he may try to think about hooking up with Braxton DeWeese if he can to try to make that work. He's able to make it work very well in the corners, but when he gets down the straightaways, that's where he loses his momentum being by himself because he doesn't have the draft that these teammates in front of him, Wingo and Ely, have. Altus to the inside, taking a peek again. Meanwhile, back behind them, Rob Sherwood is able to get around Grant and Stooksbury, and he's going to try to close in as now we may have a lead swap up here as Jack Ely wants to turn up at the front. He falls back in line, though.
Looking for a shot to try to go to the lead. Some contact. Contact out of 4. Altus dirt tracks it a little bit off the corner. Halfway home, last lap. Kicking the asphalt at Michigan, extended here on LSR TV. ready for the second half here in Michigan. 54 laps in now of 100. Just completed over 100 miles. Welcome back to the Vortex Optics 200 on LSR TV, your home for sim racing. Wesley Outland, Greg Rentz in the booth. Charles Wooten doing an awesome job on all of the camera production that you are watching from Virtual iRacing Michigan as the battle continues for the lead right where we left off from the kick in the asphalt segment. Greg, Wingo, and Ely round 2 and 3, and Deweese is closing in as well and make it now a 4-car battle as Sherwood's in that mix. And here comes some more to boot with Packard and Altus all 4.
Yeah, nice 4-car break up front, but how about Brockton Packard and the recovery he's had after having to take the fast repair into number 24, cracking back into the top 5 now as he gets around Altus and tries to reel in these top ones up here. Here comes Deweese with a run to the bottom. Sherwood goes 3 wide. Who does Packard go with?
Who do you go with? Ely up the racetrack. He hung out to dry. Contact between Sherwood and Altus, or Deweese, actually. Ely now goes and becomes a clown in the middle.
Deweese able to get around Ely for second. That's big because he breaks up the teammates, Wingo and Ely. Deweese, kind of the lone soldier up there for High Five Racing right now. Next up will be Jacob Graham, who's leading the second pack to him. But he's got his teammate Tyler Stooksbury in that mix as well. You got Peterson and Hardison there as well. Hardison, again, last week's winner at Chicago.
You know, Justin Prince used the word teammates and friends on Monday night at Texas for the finale before the championship 4 race at Phoenix at Texas. And my question is this, Greg. We might have teammates, but I don't think we have many friends out there.
No, I think based off what's happened here over the course of the season, pretty much the only friends you have are the drivers in your stable. MP Motorsports, BAPS Racing, Shadow Racing, and of course CEM and High Five, just to name a few here on this series. As you look back at Brockton Packard, this is out the back of Jack Ely for BAPS Racing Enterprises on board. Altus there lurking. He's hooked up with Rob Sherwood right now. Believe those two are teammates out of the MP Motorsports stable. And yes, they are. They have far and away the most representatives in the field tonight, with 6 of them as opposed to the 4 each for High Five Racing and CEM, and then 2 in the field tonight for Shadow Racing, and then your 3 BAPS teams making up the 20 drivers that took the green flag tonight. You look here as they all go down. Very well evenly matched up here too. You've got members of each team up near the front as a couple of High Five teammates come in. Tyler Stooksbury and Keenan Massey for their second green flag pit stops of the day. And again, right around 40 to go. They're still trying to set themselves up there for a final run to the finish and try to have a set left if they can.
So you got to wonder if they're going to have to make a money stop around lap 80 to 85.
Yes, they will.
Obviously, these cautions have threw a monkey wrench in things, as we see now. The 52 let's see, that's Grant, Pillsbury, Jacob Grant, normally in the 5, now he's in the 52, and Coleman in the Evan Coleman 51, exiting off pit lane. Here's Tucker Wingo. Here comes Braxton Deweese. Here comes almost the entire field behind them onto the pit lane. Got a feeling it'll be 4 tires and fill it up to 50% on the fuel capacity.
Coming down
Brockton
pit
Packard
road.
comes back to the lead now in 24 and 40 to go here at Michigan.
Sliding in. Ooh, Wingo has a hard time getting in his pit stall. That's going to be costly for the 99. Did you see him back there kind of moving back and forth trying to get in? Wingo, a hard time getting into his pit stall. That's going to be very costly as the rest of the field already rolling away.
Deweese, Sherwood, Altus, they exit. Remember, they got to stay below the blend line. Remember, below the blend line, the yellow line, you see as we watch Deweese. And then once they pass the blue cone, which is right about now, then they can enter back onto the race course. Onto the back straightaway at speed. And if you do not follow the blend line, Greg, you can get penalized for it.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. So, guys got to be careful. So now we're going to see how far back Wingo is as opposed to the rest of the drivers who came down pit road with him, and just how costly that little slide through the pit stall is.
The interval now almost 2 seconds.
17th position.
And growing, yeah. The interval now almost 2 seconds and growing between Packard, the leader in 24, who got caught up in an accident earlier in the race, and Hardison, who also was collected in the accident. And they're now 2 seconds separated one another in 1 and 2. There's Hardison in the Lanes Construction Incorporated Toyota number 9, coming off of a win last Wednesday night. He won at Chicagoland. And to be honest with you, Greg, Chicagoland and Michigan are very close, identical, except by the size of the track. 1.5 miles at Chicagoland, 2 miles at Michigan, but they look very unison in size as far as the layout.
Very similar here between Chicago and Michigan. Michigan's twin out in California is only going to have one more race. Yep. Yeah, Auto Club is only going to have one more race here on this type of schedule or surface, maybe 2, before the transition to a half mile begins. I think they said they're going to hold off on that another year till 2023 to allow fans to experience that track at its full strength one last time before making the switch over. But that's definitely a unique idea to transition a track identical to this one that we're at right now to a half mile. A lot of people very interested in seeing how that goes. Moving forward.
And actually, the NASCAR Cup Series this year is not even scheduled to race at Auto Club Speedway because of the COVID restrictions with the pandemic in California. They actually moved the Auto Club race to now the Daytona Road Course race after the Daytona 500 on February the 14th.
Yeah,
so will we even see Auto Club Speedway at real time next year or this year in 2021?
As of now, I don't think we will. I think we're going to have to wait for everything to be somewhat back to normal before we see Auto Club have its farewell.
Evan Coleman exiting off the pit lane. Correction, that's actually the 52 Machina Grant. Jacob Grant off the pit lane.
Brockton Packard leading the way right now. 11 cars on the lead lap. Make it 12 as Wingo unlaps himself. Remember, Packard has been rolling the dice a little bit here, trying to make something work here. 3 cars have yet to pit. I believe Packard's coming this time in the 24 off sequence with the rest of the field. Robbie Helms and Christian Gardner, the other 2 that have yet to pit. Will they make the left turn on the pit road? Helms is coming down. Gardner's not, so Christian Gardner going to stay out to lead a lap.
Packard is the leader. He now gives up the lead and comes to the pit lane. Robbie Helms is in. There's the loose off number 24 we were just referring to. This now gives the lead to Christian Gardner in the 7. There you see him right now, but he has not pitted yet, Greg. And he is the leader in the 7 car.
Down.
Gotta think he'll come down to the pits in the next couple of laps.
Oh, yeah, absolutely has to. And he is setting himself up for the end of the race with this long run. Here he comes. Here he comes, but he can go 20 laps. He'll be pitting with 13 to go, or everyone else will be pitting with 20 to go. Late in the race, this guy right here, Christian Gardner, if this thing goes green the rest of the way, he's going to have about 7 lap fresher tires in the rest of the field for that final run to the finish.
Gardner still considered as the leader because DeWeese has not crossed the scoring loop yet to pass him. Where will Gardner end up on the scoring whenever his pit stop comes to an end? Now DeWeese just roars past start finish, along with Sherwood and Altus, Elite, Peterson, Wingo, Stooksbury, and Coleman. Teammates there, Altus and Sherwood alongside now for second and third. Trying to run down Deweese.
He's hooked up with a teammate. He's hooked up with Jacob Grant right now in the 52. As he's getting back on the lead lap is the number 52 of Jacob Grant. They cross the line, but he is intent to ride in front of his teammate Braxton Deweese, and they can draft together as Sherwood and Altus try to reel him in. Then we got Peterson, Ely, and Wingo working together right now. Peterson teammates with the two guys in front of him, Sherwood and Altus, trying to get up there, and he's using the help of the BRE guys to get up there.
30 laps to go next time by when they come back to the start finish. As Deweese the leader, interval almost 700ths of a second behind the leaders now of Sherwood and Altus second and third. There you see him right there. That's how close they are from reeling him in, and he's got some lap cars to boot. For Deweese in 15, he's trying to get around. They can take advantage of this, possibly, and use it to their advantage to run down Deweese with that lap car as a blocker in front of the 15.
Oh, contact between Hardison and Wingo there off of turn number 2. Going to take a run to the bottom. Lurking in front of him. Hardison with a nice run on the outside now in the 9.
Hardison now climbing back into the top 5, trying to get around Peterson, which, by the way, Zachary Peterson has had a great race in the 96 car today. In the top 5. Now Hardison will clear him. Bingo trying to also back in that dog fight. They work their way to the lineup to the back straightaway. Ely now, the next car to fall back behind Hardison for 4th. .71 laps in. 29, now make it 28 to go when they come back to the restart, to the start-finish line. And Braxton Deweese out in front looking for his 3rd points win, 4th win overall in Season 2 for the SNB Cup Series, presented by Appalachian Holler Hunters, here tonight in the Vortex Optics 200 at Michigan, Greg.
I remember he won that non-televised, non-points race that day we had that technical issue on iRacing, and if we were to run the race, we would only have maybe 5 cars in the field, so we elected to just not do it. We ran a special non-points race using a different car, and Braxton Deweese picked the win up there. Then we were able to get the cup cars back when the bug was fixed the week after, and then that was when Deweese really began his tear after winning at the Daytona Road Course, picked up another win at Charlotte before Hardison picked up the win at Chicago last week. So Braxton Deweese trying to get a run right now, make it his 3rd points win of the season. Would have a lot of momentum going into the playoffs, but remember, wins, they just lock you in. It's all about where you finish in the point standings, and coming into tonight, Caleb Smith was having a very nice stranglehold on that. He sits 9th right now in the number 12.
There you see the points leader, Caleb Smith, who currently is in 9th. Had a little stroke of bad luck earlier in the race when he got collected in the accident. We've had 2 multi-car accidents with several contenders involved, and then they rallied and came back through. And I think of names like Deweese and Sherwood, Altus, Hardison, Packard. Just to name a few, Greg. Caleb Smith as well, Tyler Stooksbury, all getting caught up in accidents and able to redeem themselves thanks to the quick repair and come back through the field.
Yeah, it's been very nice watching these guys able to climb back up despite the issues in the day, have a nice recovery, and still try to be there at the end for these final 5 laps. Just watching them all work their way through the
3 3/4 down. 3/4 down, 25 laps to go. We're going to go side by side so you do not miss a thing, and we will take you to the checkered flag here at Michigan, the SNB Cup Series on LSR TV. Checkered flag of the finish when we return.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do actually any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink color. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
21 laps to go. Greg Rance, could we be seeing the money stop? Here comes the majority on pit road. Altus, Ely, Wingo, Peterson, Furnett, and more.
If this thing stays green the rest of the way, this is the money stop. But by my math, they have one more set of tires in case of a late caution. So if this thing goes green, yes, this is the money stop.
Pit stops underway. Money stop is what Greg and I are calling. Here they come. Altus off pit lane. Everyone else to follow. Peterson, Furnett, all. Here comes Braxton DeWeese. He'll give up the lead, Greg. He'll come to the pit lane. Rob Sherwood behind him. Teammates. Stooksbury, Massey, Terry, all in. Spencer Hardiston, Chicagoland winner, to the lead in 9.
They come down pit road, tires going on the 15 of DeWeese and 9 of Sherwood. Hardison way down. Drag race off. Sherwood's going to get out in front of DeWeese. Sherwood able to get off pit road just a little bit quicker.
Wow.
Oh, looking at this, you see there on the bar, that number right there, that's how many pit stop these drivers have made. Some of them have a set of tires left, like Braxton DeWeese, Tucker Wingo, Jack Ely and company, but look at those drivers with 5, even 6.
Even 8.
I don't think they have another set of tires on them. We would have to check in with them, because if they took tires every time they came down pit road, that's it. They're done on tires for the rest of the race. Remember, even if, as they go 3 wide right now between DeWeese, Altus, and Sherwood, wow, we're talking about strategy, and here's a 3 wide battle going on for what I believe will be the net race lead as it all comes down. 4 wide. Grant trying to get out of the way in the 52. Sherwood, Altus, DeWeese, drag race. DeWeese going to fall in behind Altus. And things settle down for now. Now, going back to what I was saying, even if it's only a 2-tire stop, that still counts as a full set of tires. You don't get to use those 2 left sides. 2 right side tires, that's mainly for strategy use only to try to get some track position here as we go back to the running order and track distance. So this is a very interesting situation here, Wesley, with different drivers on different pit strategies. Some have tires left, some don't. Their bed's made.
Yeah, you better pack yourself a big lunch as well and hope you brought enough. Here they come out of turn 4, down to the line. 17 to go here at Michigan. Contact made. DeWeese and Altus. A little wiggle and a giggle there. And Sherwood's there to give the assist punt on the 94 of Altus. Back to 1. Trying to clear the 15. This is inside the top 10. 5th, 6th, and 7th heated for that spot on the back straightaway. Kurt's still the leader. He's not pitted. Neither has Smith and neither has Helms. Ross Tatum now gives up 4th and comes to the pit lane in 1.
Remember, Packard in the 24 was one of those drivers who stayed out a little extra on that last round of pit stops to try to get himself into position like this.
Right.
Trying to make it last. The one I'm curious on is Packard's coming down pit road now into number 24. He's going to have a bit of an advantage over the rest of the field, but the one I'm curious about is the 7 of Gardner. Still a lap down right now after not being able to race his way back onto the lead lap, but he will have the freshest tires in the field once he completes his pit cycle. The question is, does he have enough time?
Right. As he is on the tail end of the lead lap now. He gets the lap down. And when he comes back around, possibly he can get back on the lead lap. 15 remaining here at Michigan. Robbie Helms now the leader in the 18 car. Exiting pit road. Yep.
Matt Dyer, and we believe Matt Dyer had to repair that damage manually from that accident. That's why he's currently pinned 5 laps down now. Number 88, there he is.
Such a tough break there for the driver of the 88 machine. So many times we've announced so close to being in the victory lane. Just
think back to Charlotte.
Oh yeah, I think of Charlotte. What a heartbreak, but it just cannot seem to just close the deal.
All right, Robbie Helms up front now in the number 18. He was on that same strategy as Brockton Packard, stretching it out a little bit. Came down the same lap as Packard the time before. Not the case here tonight for this one. He's 25 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Sherwood, DeWeese, and Altus and company. There is a battle for third between Altus and DeWeese.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, look at this. I mean, literally Helms has such a big lead over everyone else. He could possibly come down to the pit lane, Greg, and could even come back out as the leader if he hits his marks right.
We're about to find out, I think, because it looks like he was thinking about pit road, but then thought better of it. So Robbie Helms is going to try to stretch it as long as he can. He's hoping to catch another caution. That's what Robbie Helms is doing right now. He's hoping to catch a caution because then he's going to have the freshest tires on the racetrack, and everybody left who had a set of tires isn't going to have a choice but to come down pit road. Helms is going to stretch it until that thing starts to sputter so he can get on the pit road. He's trying to catch a caution here.
And then while that goes on, we continue to still watch all these battles take care between DeWeese and Hardison and Altus. There's the leader now, the 18 of Helms. 12 to go. By the way, we know as we approach the end here, he's got a pit. Here he comes. By the way, the interval's been cut to 22 and a half. Can they run Helms out? Will Helms be able to pit and come back out as a leader and try to pull off an upset win?
And that just put Christian Gardner back on the lead lap into number 7. Remember, he was on that same strategy as these two as well, and he was able to stretch it a bit longer as Helms overshot his pit box.
Dang, stop 18. Helms overshoots his pit box. He at least lost 2 seconds on that exchange. And here comes the pack running him down.
My eyes are now on the 7 of Gardner. When was his last pit stop? In the number 7. Sherwood leads out of the playoffs. There is Gardner. That's who I'm curious about right there. When was his last pit stop? Has he pitted on this final round? Because remember, he found himself in a position where he could set himself up to the end on one more stop later than everybody. Yeah, he has not yet come down. He's on his 21st lap. He's going to be the last car to pit. He's going to hope he catches a caution between now and then, because then he's going to inherit it all.
Total pit stops at 5. Current stint 21 laps. We know they got a pit. 10 to go, by the way, here at Michigan.
Here he
10
comes.
remaining. Here he comes.
Now let's keep an eye on him, because 5 pit stops. They had 5 sets of tires on pit road. Does he have another set of tires in that number 7 car, or did he use tires on all 5 rounds of pit stops? So let's keep an eye on the 7 of Gardner here and see if he did indeed have another set of tires left, or if he kind of got forced into that strategy. Let's see. Yep, tires are going up. He did have another set left. So now he's going to have the freshest tires on the track, but with 9 laps, he's going to need a caution to help him.
4 tires and fuel. Doesn't even squill the tires off the pit lane exit as here he comes back on track. Matt Dyer behind him in 88. And we are 9 laps to go with Sherwood out in front. How about this story for Rob Sherwood? Outside the top 10. Outside the top 10, in the top 15. With the win, he goes to the playoffs in 29. But DeWeese is trying to spoil things. But the question is, their teammates. How will this turn out, Greg? They're teammates.
No, they're not teammates. Sherwood's
they're not
with
teammates.
Altus.
My apologies.
Sherwood's
You're
with
exactly
Altus,
right.
who's lurking there behind. DeWeese with high 5. Sherwood with MP Motorsports. Remember how close he came last week at Chicago. DeWeese still getting right up on the back bumper. Here comes Braxton to the inside.
Not teammates. High 5 racing. DeWeese with a high 5 to the driver door on the inside of Sherwood. Sherwood battles back on the outside. Here they come out of 2. 7 remaining here at Michigan. Greg off the back straightaway.
DeWeese to the lead. Sherwood going to get a big draft back. Now, what does Altus do in the 94? Can he close back in on these guys and make it a 3-horse race? Altus has not won since Daytona, but has had speed every single week in that number 94 since the Daytona race. Do it this time.
6 laps to go. Friends, teammates, enemies, who will it be? How will the outcome become? With DeWeese now out in front, Sherwood in second, Altus third. And let's not mix any words about it, Gregory. Braxton DeWeese, even though he has won these races, he's been competitive, he races hard. And in doing so, he might have made some enemies along the way.
It's definitely a fair assumption to say that there have been some tempers flaring in the high 5 stable and the CEM stable this season. Now Sherwood gets a run.
Under DeWeese. Yes, he is. 5 to go.
DeWeese trying to hold on for win number 3 on the season. Sherwood there in the 29.
Wow,
look at DeWeese trying to break the draft. Great job there by DeWeese. Very smart move there, trying to break the draft of the 29, but Sherwood saw that coming. Nice move by Sherwood as well. Great job by both of those guys. I love the move by DeWeese. I wonder if he does it again.
Picked up on it quickly. Sherwood was ready to pounce. 4 to go here at the line.
DeWeese leading. Sherwood second.
Greg, when do you make your move? When does Sherwood make his move, or does he even have a shot to go after him here?
Oh, he's got a great shot to do it, but it's all about timing. And honestly, it's to your judgment. I think you want to make your move turn 1, last lap. White flag going into turn 1. That's when you want to start your move, because if you've seen it, you're going to lose your momentum down the backstretch, but your main goal is to try to be right there. That's where you want to be, right there.
The 4 to the line. 3 to go. Sherwood on the inside. Was he saving something for the end? 29 back to the lead, but DeWeese will battle back on the outside. And don't look out behind you, but Altus and Hardison are creeping their way into this pack as well.
Altus trying to close in. Hardison was able to capitalize on fuel mileage last time. DeWeese with a crossover there. And yeah, I thought it was a little bit too early for Sherwood because that allowed DeWeese to size him back up again. Gave him a little bit of time. Here he comes down towards turn number 1. Oh! DeWeese tries to side draft around the 29. Wow. They drag race to the line. Too close to call at the line. Scoring pylon said Sherwood by just 2 1,000ths of a second. 2 laps to go. Drag race around.
And for Sherwood to get door slammed by DeWeese, shoot up the racetrack up in the marbles, and the battle back. Impressive on the 29. And now he's back to the lead.
Now does DeWeese make another move? Going into turn number 3, coming to the white flag. DeWeese is going to have to be careful with his timing here. He doesn't want to go too early, but he doesn't want to wait too long. Here we go. White flag, CRN, 1 to go.
To the stripe, here they come. Final time. Sherwood out in front, looking to be another winner for the first time on the series. For CEM Motorsports, High Five Racing is there. Turn 2, DeWeese. Can he make his move on the bottom? Nothing there.
Close to the
back
wall.
Straight away. Back to the wall.
He got close to the wall. I think that's it. I don't think he has enough time now with how much the draft effect matters. Yeah. I think Rob Sherwood's coming to the checkered.
I think that mistake by DeWeese just sealed his fate. Sherwood will work his way off of turn number 4. The 29 will come to the line below the apron. DeWeese last second effort on the bottom, not gonna work. He'll win the Vortex Optics 200 and make now the 9th different winner in, or excuse me, yeah, the 8th different winner in 10 races.
Big wreck after the finish line. Someone was flipping in the front stretch there. Not sure who it was.
Oh, it's Pillsbury. Jacob Grant, airborne.
And they were having a lot of discussions.
This is with Evan Coleman. This is around Evan Coleman. We'll see what happened here. Watch this. Oh, he just lost it.
Got loose.
Oh, he lost it.
Coleman able to stay out of it. And there's the hit.
He hit the inside infield grass pit wall so hard that it sent him pirouetting or ricocheting back onto the racetrack.
Wild one there for Caleb Smith. But it's all about Rob Sherwood, who just now has begun his celebration down in the grass. Long time coming for the BRE driver, but he got it done here tonight.
8 different winners, Greg, in 10 races. What do you think of that?
Unbelievable. What a series this has been. So much competition, and Rob Sherwood gets his win and punches a ticket.
He's in the playoffs. He was in red. Now he is in green. The real tree. Number 29 for CEM Motorsports. Going to the postseason. Here's your sawblade.com. Results unofficially here at Michigan as he parks it in Gatorade Victory Lane. Rob Sherwood is the winner. 200,000ths of a second over Braxton DeWeese. They bumped, they banged, they slid, they gouged. Virtually, Sherwood gets the win. Altus 3rd, Hardison 4th, Wingo, Packard, Ely, Coleman, Tatum, Caleb Smith, your top 10.
Coming home in the 11th spot is Keenan Massey in the number 4, Tyler Stooksbury 12th. Zach Peterson, Cody Fournette, and Robbie Helms had such a great effort there, going off sequence on pit strategy to try to make it work. Unfortunately, just doesn't catch that caution. He finishes 15th. Cody Terry, final car on the lead lap. Jacob Grant, after being flipping across the line, in 17th. Christian Gardner, I thought he had a shot to try to make something happen. Unfortunately, got pinned a lap down on the second to last green flag pit stop and just didn't have enough to get back on the lead lap. He's going to have to settle for 18th. Matthew Gilliams and Matt Dyer wound up the final drivers in this 20-car field.
And a tough break again. Matt Dyer, high hopes it looked like at the beginning that he was going to be a contender to win. The post-race wrap-up is coming up. We're going to take a quick break to thank some of the great sponsors of the SNB Cup Series. What a wild one at Michigan. another winner. 8 in 10 events, 2 to the playoffs in the postseason. And we'll grab a word with Sherwood when we return on LSR TV, your home for sim racing at Michigan.
I promise to follow through.
I promise to repair or replace your product.
I promise to get your optics back to you as soon as possible.
A promise is the foundation of our business. We call it the VIP warranty, the very important promise. It's unlimited, unconditional, and lifetime. No matter what the problem is, no matter how the problem occurred, no matter how old the product is, if it says Vortex Optics on it, we will repair or replace your product at no cost to you. Maybe it was an accident, maybe it was your fault, or even your dog's. No matter what happens, we've got you covered.
It's simple. There's no product registration, no receipts to hang on to. Just grab a box, fill out a form, ship us your product. No hassle, no questions asked.
We stand behind the quality and performance of our products, and our commitment to you extends far beyond the initial purchase. I promise.
The DK4 by NAP represents the next level of broadheads, providing you with fixed and mechanical blade technology in one devastating head. Available in both crossbow and compound models, the DK4 features a pivoting main blade which eliminates deflection off bone and maintains momentum, while delivering true field point accuracy as well as 2 deploying bleeder blades for an 1.25 inch secondary cutting diameter, equating to devastating wound channels. And with an internal blade retention system, there are no O-rings, collars, or rubber bands, just the confidence knowing that the blades will open on impact no matter your target. Featuring a bone-crushing trophy tip and diamized blade sharpening process for true ultra-sharp blades. The DK4 Broadhead from NAP. Hunt with confidence.
back here from the virtual Irish Hills of Michigan. The Vortec Optics 200 is officially in the books when it's all said and done. We have now a new winner on the SNB Cup Series in Season 2. 8 winners in 10 events, 2 races to the playoffs. Homestead next week, followed by Indianapolis, and then it's on to decide the championship for the Cup for the SNB Cup Series presented by Appalachian Holler Hunters. Welcome back to coverage on LSR TV. Wesley Outland, Greg Wrench, Charles Wooten. Awesome job with the sights and sounds of the broadcast coverage. And we'll grab a word with Robert Sherwood, who finally breaks through in victory lane in just a moment. But first, we'll grab our top 3. Daytona winner, Joshua Altus, another podium. He'll settle for 3rd. Joshua for MP Motorsports out of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Your take of the race. A pretty good one here at Michigan tonight. Joshua Altus, are you there?
Yes, sir. You got me?
Yeah. I just wanted to say a good run at Michigan tonight. You settle for 3rd.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, congratulations to my teammate and one of my best friends, Robert Sherwood. Man, I'm so stoked for him to get this win, and he's put a lot of work into it. I know he was heartbroken last week, and he told me, I think it was the day after the race, he said he rewatched that replay about 15 times trying to figure out what he could have done different to get the win. So he called his shot and he did it. And the way in which he did it, Braxton's one of the best drivers we have in the series. And for Braxton to get by him and then Rob have enough, stamina to get up and pass him again. So congratulations to Rob, first and foremost. Yeah, we had a great night. I thought we were just as good as Braxton and Rob. They got a little ahead of me on that's the last run, and I tried to short pit just one lap to see if I could get in front of them. And they came off pit road, and we were all right together, and we were racing so hard. So thanks to Rob and Braxton, that was a lot of fun racing both of them.
Josh, it was definitely another great race here at Michigan. And like you mentioned, you were up there racing with Braxton and Rob for most of the race. You talked about how good it is to see your teammate grab that win, but tell us just overall about the consensus of your team there at the end when you guys realized it was down to Sherwood and Deweese. You were right there in the catbird seat to capitalize if something happened, but what was the mentality of you and the rest of the team as Sherwood battled it out with Deweese with a chance at redemption after the heartbreak last week?
Yeah, for sure, Greg. I mean, I just wanted to grab a bucket of popcorn and watch what was about to go down because they were racing each other so hard, man, but so respectfully. And that's what I love about this league. That's what we've strived to build in this league is just mutual respect among competitors and know that you can race each other very hard, but very clean and respectfully and still have a great race. So I was pulling for Rob there. I really want to get this number 94 Hornady ammo Chevy back in victory lane. I can't believe we have only won one race this year with the amount of speed that we've had every week. But it's nice to get some consistent finishes. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd podium finish in a row. So it's nice to be finishing where we're running, but at the same time, I want to get some wins for myself. But yeah, just extremely proud of Rob, extremely proud of MP Motorsports, and we've all really stepped our game up lately. And I think we're all starting to peak right at the right time, right before playoffs.
And I think in closing, as you also thank your sponsors as well, Joshua, the competition on this series is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it was 8 different winners, Wesley. I mean, yeah, in 10 races. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. What this series, like I said, we're only in season 2, and the amount of competition that we've had, and it's just incredible. It's a lot of fun to come out here on Wednesday nights. I got to thank you guys, LSR TV, for putting on these great broadcasts every week. Thank you, Christian and Appalachian Holler Hunters, for sponsoring our series. Primary sponsor, my car, Hornady Ammo. And then in closing, I meant to mention this last week on the podium. I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to my wife and her family. her papa passed away last week. Billy Wayne Dudley, great man, and I told Brian, her uncle, we were going to win it tonight and dedicate it to him, but we couldn't quite get the win, but we finished third, and I just want to let the Dudley family know we're thinking about them.
Third place for Joshua Altus on the podium again here at Michigan. Second place now to the driver, the number 15 for High Five Racing, Braxton DeWeese. And Braxton, a great battle between you and Sherwood. And let's face it, you've kind of made some enemies along the way racing this year. But I think tonight was competitive, hard racing, clean racing between you and Sherwood. And your take of the final 10 laps, because it was really good calling it in the booth.
Awesome. That's all I was thinking behind the wheel. I was like, man, this is just great racing. It's clean. Just wanted to shout out to Rob Sherwood and Joshua Altus there. We all came out at the same time. Me and Robert came out there. I passed him coming off the apron there, coming off the pit road. And then Altus came there, and we were all three racing, and that was just great. The three of us just racing there the whole time. Sad that we didn't get the win, but it was a great race, so I'm still happy.
Braxton, you just mentioned how great a race it was. Talk about those closing laps when it was you and Sherwood and Altus, the three of you guys battling out 3 wide more than once in that one, and then you break away from Altus. It's just you and Sherwood. Tell us about the final 10 or so laps when everyone else kind of falls to the wayside and it's down to just you guys, and what goes through your mind, especially that awesome move there with the crossover to start the side draft there with 2 laps to go. Tell us about that battle to the end with Sherwood.
I knew it was just the three of us. I was looking at my relative. Guys in 4th, 5th, and on back. Guy in 4th place was around, I'd say 3.5, 3.6 seconds till I remember. So there wasn't going to be enough time for him to catch up to us, especially us three being there together. And I knew the best way to pass would be on the outside. You just get a better run off the outside than the inside. That first seam, that first little patch, there's a couple degrees lower than the rest of the track. So you really got to make sure your car turns down there, but it also wears your tires out. And me battling Joshua Altus there, I feel like I was wearing my tires out a tad bit. I feel like I shouldn't have done that. I feel like I should have just rode behind him, wait for that moment to get to the outside like I did there. And man, it was just great racing. I just love it.
Well, now we get ready for Homestead, Indianapolis, the final 2 before the postseason. And I mean, there's got to be a comfort in knowing that, Braxton, that, you know, on the spectrum of things, the outside looking in, you have 2 wins. So you know you got these other drivers like Sherwood hungry to try to get their first taste of victory. Does that make you race them differently, knowing that you do have a postseason coming up you're a part of?
I'm going to race everybody the same, whether it's the first race, whether it's the last race. I race everybody just like that, you know. I feel like that produces the best racing for the league and for the viewers as well.
Thank your sponsors on the 15. Braxton DeWeese for High Five Racing, second.
I want to thank Ron's Pizzas for being on the car. It's pretty cool. That's my work, so it's pretty cool for them to come on board. I want to thank Ravenwood Enterprise, Bennett's Publical, Jeff Schmidt Auto Group, Scott Martin that works there. If you need a Chevy car, go there. Jeff Schmidt in Beaver Creek, get it. Zimmerman Concrete, King Grant Paints for the beautiful paint as always. Racing on Boards, you guys, LSR TV, great production. Appalachian Holler Hunters, Vortex Optics for sponsoring this race. High Five Racing, just for letting me drive for them, and Earnhardt Construction, NASCAR Technical Institute. Appreciate all of them, and fans are friendly.
Runner up here tonight in Michigan. That's Braxton DeWeese to the number 15. To get a race victory, we go to the 8th different winner. It's an events driver of the number 29 for MP Motorsports, teammate to Joshua Altus, Rob Sherwood. Rob, you finally got one. We thought we were going to talk to you in Victoryland in Chicagoland, but it came 1 week later. Everything just worked perfect for you down the home stretch. Congratulations.
Finally, you know, but hey, better late than never, right? first off, I gotta give my wife some grief because she told me she's not gonna watch the races until I win a race. So I'm gonna go give her some grief right after this. But no, my dad actually just texted me and told me congratulations. So I want to give out a shout out to them for watching. But before I get into talking about the race, real quick, thinking about the Dudley family. Josh is a really close friend of mine, so we've talked a lot this week about things going on with their lives. So just thinking about them, and I want to congratulate my wife for getting into grad school. She's an amazing social worker, and I look forward to seeing what she does. But yeah, I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yeah, fantastic race tonight. Last week was such a heartbreaker. I really thought we had the car to win last week if things broke our way, but it didn't work out. And tonight I knew we had another fast car, and fortunately, I shout out to Braxton. He and I had a great race there at the end. He raced me cleanly, and I knew I did not expect to get back by him with 6 laps to go. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but fortunately we were able to.
Rob, tell us about coming to the finish line after what happened last week. You have the issue at the end of the race last week. You're coming to the checkered again. Are you wondering what's going to happen this time, or are you just trying to focus on that finish line and watch as it comes up closer and closer and closer?
Just focusing on that finish line. It was funny, the last pit stop, Zachary Peterson, my teammate, had keyed up and said he was going to pit on lap 79, and from what we had figured out, we figured fuel runs were about 20 to 22 laps, 22 stretching it. And I told him, I said, you have fun with that. I am not going early to run out of fuel exactly like last week. We're not doing it. And then Braxton actually had keyed up off 4 because I noticed he got super tight through turn 2 on the backstretch, and I knew at that point if I just hit my marks, as long as nothing crazy happened, I was going to bring it home. But Braxton keyed up off turn 4, just told me, great race, congratulations. And I didn't even say thank you until I crossed the line, just in case. Don't want to put any bad vibes out there. So yeah, no, fortunate that tonight worked out.
What was going through your mind with about 4 laps to go when you and Deweese bonsai'd one another and you shot up the racetrack up in the marbles? Did you think then and there, oh man, I just lost this race? But you quickly got back in the throttle and ran him back down.
No, honestly, in that moment, I wasn't thinking that. I kept the car going straight, so that in my mind, that's all I needed to do. And I figured if I kept the car, if I could keep it on that second seam and pin him down on the bottom, that it would kind of keep him tight down there and he wouldn't be able to get a run. And he actually was able to pass me down there one time. And I really thought after that, I was like, man, he did a good job of saving his stuff. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get back by him, but yeah, I mean, we doored there a little bit unintentionally. I think that was probably as reckless as we got. But other than that, I felt like that was so much fun there at the end battling with him. Obviously, as Josh said, he's one of the best drivers we have in this league. He's a 2-time winner this year, won the All-Star race, been on a huge hot streak. So getting to battle with he and Josh, and even Spencer Hardison made a little bit of a charge there at the end. So it was so much fun there. Those nerve-wracking, obviously, but a lot of fun after that last pit stop, that battling up there.
Question, and you can also thank your sponsors in this segue as well. How excited is it to finally be a winner on the series and now become 8 out of 10 different winners on races?
It's so exciting. It is absolutely exciting. It's so hard to explain how excited I am right now. Yeah, I mean, there's some fantastic drivers in this league, and to be able to finish out in front just kind of validates the hard work I've put in to getting better at these tracks. So I just want to thank New Archery Products and Realtree for having them on board this week. Appalachian Holler Hunters for sponsoring the series. Realtree and New Archery Products are associate sponsors of them. So fortunately, we're able to, give them exposure while also giving exposure to Appalachian Holler Hunters for being really generous and sponsoring this league and allowing us to come out here and do this. And obviously, thank you guys for another fantastic broadcast, and we appreciate everything you guys do.
He makes the 8th different winner in 10 races, driver for MP Motorsports in the number 29. That is Rob Sherwood. And that will wrap up our post-race wrap-up with the 3 drivers here at the virtual Michigan International Speedway. We will now prepare to go from the Irish Hills of Michigan down from the Finger Lakes State down to Florida, to the virtual Sunshine State of palm trees and the Homestead Miami Speedway next Wednesday night for round number 11. Then it's on to Indianapolis, the racing capital of the world. But Greg Wrench, your final thoughts as we wrap up tonight at Michigan.
Man, what a great race here in Michigan tonight. Coming down to Sherwood and Deweese, with Sherwood getting some redemption. What an incredible night, though, all night long. Just a couple of cautions throughout the course of the night. I think we had 3 on tonight, but it was a great job by our drivers. Clean racing, great side-by-side action. Definitely happy I was able to make it in here right around lap 20 or so. Again, we talked about had a little bit of an incident at work, and maybe I could use a visit to Vortex Optic tonight to help me out with that. But we're all good over here, and yeah, looking forward to next week at Homestead.
Well, when it's all said and done, Rob Sherwood picking up the win. 8th different winner in 10 races. By the way, next week, again, we are at Homestead. Miami Speedway coverage begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central on LSR TV. Your home for sim racing next Wednesday night, as there is now just 2 races remaining before the playoffs. The penultimate race next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. The next broadcast for LSR TV will be tomorrow night, the next round of the West Bay Napa Auto Parts playoffs for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Coverage with Greg Rentz and myself begins tomorrow night at 11:45 Eastern, 10:45 Central on LiveSimRacingTV.com and LSR TV. For Charles Wooten and Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland from Virtual Michigan. Congratulations again to Robert Sherwood. We saw the craziness that happened today in our country. As I always say in closing, please keep on praying for America. God bless you all, and thank you for watching.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank